A lot of people seem to be doubting Conor McGregor's chances against Nate Diaz at UFC 202, and I'm not really sure why. Sure, Nate Diaz beat him in the first fight, but at the end of the day, you look at the first round, and it was quite clear to see who the dominant fighter was, and that was Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor not only dismantled him on the feet, but he also held his own on the ground in the first round. A lot of people get caught up in that submission Nate Diaz did in the second round, the guillotine on the ground. But before that, in round one, when he was taken down, Conor McGregor successfully defended a triangle choke. And so that just proves to you one thing, is that Conor McGregor has good jiu-jitsu skills. Just because he got submitted doesn't mean his jiu-jitsu skills are weak or poor. Another aspect you have to consider about this, Nate Diaz has trained under a brilliant Brazilian jiu-jitsu camp in the Gracie family, the founders of Brazilian jiu-jitsu itself. And you've even heard Eddie Bravo say that he's been to my classes, Conor McGregor has, and he can more than hold his own. Except the factor was that Conor McGregor just didn't have that experience, didn't have that durability like Nate Diaz did, and his fitness, or lack of fitness, told, especially in the second round. Conor McGregor is used to knocking guys out in the first round. Jose Aldo defended his championship for a decade nearly. And Conor McGregor just knocked him out in 11 seconds to be precise. The official time was around 14, but by the time the referee stops it, there's a bit of lag. So technically it's a little quicker than 14 seconds. And so that just proves, Conor McGregor has that lethal left hand. And when he hit Nate with it, it was just a completely different ball game. Not only could he take the hit, but he could take multiple hits. And this was a completely different side to what Conor McGregor faced in the 145-pound division, where he had to cut weight enormously, an enormous amount of weight. And yet he still was the most dominant champion there because he has the height and the reach, and his skill is very, very high. And not a lot of people understand that, he's not just a talker. He can walk the talk. He is just a guy who has both the promotional abilities to sell the fight, and he's also a fighter at heart. You don't see fighters going up in weights. You don't see, if anything, you see them going down in weight. And you look at a cross sport, say like boxing, where Amir Khan got knocked out by Canelo Alvarez, and up until that point he was doing okay. Similar to Conor McGregor here, Conor McGregor he was actually winning the first round. He dominated, and then Nate picked him off because his fitness was not up to scratch. So we have to consider here that this is a new fight. Conor McGregor is going to come into this fight with new understandings of how to adapt to a bigger opponent, someone who has a longer reach than he does. Although Conor also has, a long reach himself and has a big build on him in terms of his body size. So it's not unfeasible for Conor McGregor to win this fight. A lot of people are tipping against Conor McGregor, but if I was looking at this fight, I'd say, why isn't Conor McGregor the outright favourite? Given what he has understood about Nate Diaz, given what he did to him in the first round, how can you expect him not to do that again?